Okay, so as I mentioned, we're going to walk through two different ways to upload your artwork. And the first is if you have a single image. So for example, what that looks like for me today is this drawing I created of tomatoes in Procreate on my iPad. And I'm going to be using this to create a greeting card to start. Then I'll be using this to create a repeating pattern on an apron in the next lesson. So to start, let's look at this greeting card. The folding card. So I'm going to click Start Selling Folded Cards here. Now, if you don't yet have an account, then it'll ask you to sign up. I do have an account with Guten already. Again, it's completely free to sign up and free to start. So it's taking me into my product hub because I already have an account. If you don't, then you'll just give them your email, a password, it'll get you set up. So once you're all set up, it'll carry you through to this back end where you get to decide what you're going to sell. So for this example, I want to do single-sided. I'm going to do the dull cover because it's the least cost, and I've ordered those before and I actually really like them. I'm going to do the 4.25 by 5.5 inch, and for today I'm just going to do a pack of one, just one example. These packs, they are all of the same image, so they're not like a mix and match. One thing you could do is order a pack of different imagery. So like if I had one pack of tomatoes and another pack of broccolis, I could order both of those and then mix and match them and sell them in person. However, if you're just selling online here, it's going to be the same image in the pack. So I'll continue with that one card. Okay, now we looked at the information earlier, but you can see here that it gives you the printable area again, right there. So I know that that's the pixel dimension I want to use in Photoshop in which to place my image. So it's loading here, but once it does, you'll see that there's a card front right there and a card back. So we talked a little bit about branding and how with print on demand it can be really tricky because you can't add in a custom note and you can't add in a custom tag, but you can add branding onto your image, onto your product. So what I always like to do with a greeting card is add my name of my business with my logo. So I do the logo, prints and plants, and then my website. And I'll show you all of that in a minute, but I have a template that I've saved that I can just upload for my card backs like that. So let's go over to Photoshop, and we have again right here 1313 by 1725. Help me remember that. I usually go back and forth. Okay, so I'm going to go New, Width 1313. What was it, 1725? Double check, yes. Okay, so I entered in those pixel dimensions right here, 1313 by 1725, keeping it at 300. That's the standard for that high quality. Also, typically CMYK is the color field that's used for printed goods, but Guten recommends submitting all of your images under RGB. So I'm going to leave that as RGB. Background content's white, and I'm going to label this tomato card. Press OK. So there's the bounds within which I have to place my artwork. So now that artwork, tomatoes, also if you're curious about how to create the artwork, I'm going to be creating future classes about how to do illustration and drawing, but for now this is assuming that you already have a work of art created that you're ready to print on a product. So I have that saved to my desktop, so I'm going to go to File in Photoshop, Place. Here's the image, tomatoes, place. So there it is, and then place again. So it's like that. It's a little funky because it's not an exact square. I could make a square greeting card for this instead, but what I might do is shrink this down a little bit so it's a little bit more centered, like right in there, and then align it. So what I did just now, I pressed Command A on the Mac, and then that gives some alignment tools up here. So I want to align it in the center here, and then also here. So you can see align vertical center, align horizontal center, and that put it right in the middle. Though to me it looks, because of the tomato shapes, this is a little too small compared to this, so I'm just going to nudge it to the left just a little bit. And for the sake of example, we'll call this card good. I think what I would do actually is do an image that actually fit the space a little bit better, or if this was a repeat. But this is just to give you an idea of the single image. So now I'm going to go up here to Save As. I already have tomato card. I don't want it as a PSD. For Guten, I always save it as a JPEG, which is going to automatically save this as a copy. For right now, I'm just saving it to my desktop. Save, press OK. I'm going to go back to Guten and press Bulk Upload Artwork. And then here I have the option to upload new artwork. You can see here all the old artwork I've uploaded for previous products, which I can filter or sort. And so we'll do that in a minute when I show you the back of the card. But for the front of the card, this is brand new, so I'm going to click Upload from Device, go to my desktop, tomato card right here, move this so I can see open. And it might take a minute here. Sometimes the files take a little bit to upload depending on your wireless speed and the size of the file. You can see over here too, there's card front and card back. So that's indicating which area we're uploading this part of the artwork to, because there are two sections to do this. Okay, so now this tomato image is uploaded, so I'm going to, the wrong image is uploaded in the front right here, so I have the front space highlighted. I'm going to select, so you can see there. Now I'm going to highlight the back space, and I'm going to find my back card imagery, which I believe is this one right here. So you can see the front and the back. I'm going to click Apply, and let's see how this turns out on the preview. So right here you can see that the print area is highlighted, and you can see this red dotted line. You want all of your imagery to be within that red dotted line, because if it's past that, there's a chance it might get cut off when the cards are being cut. Card back, so there's Prints and Plants, my business, and my website. It's all within the red line. I've ordered copies of these and they do fit within that. Now you can take a look at the product too, so let's highlight product, and then it gives you a mock-up of what that looks like. So that's the back, that's the front. So nice, clean, simple, ready to go. If I were to want to replace anything, you could click Replace Artwork and change it right there. But I'm happy with this for the example. So let's move forward. So I'm clicking Next, Continue. Here again you get some mock-ups, which is really fun to imagine what this will look like in person. And this image might not load right now, but it gives you an overview of the size, the number of cards, what the paper type is, and this one is single-sided. So single-sided doesn't mean that there's no back of the card. It just means that on the flip side of this image, on that internal left page of the card, there is no imagery. So you can see that, and I'm going to click Continue again. So now you'll get to this section, and you see here there's storage, Prints, Plants, Shopify, that's my Shopify site, Prints and Plants Press, Etsy, and we will talk about the benefits of Shopify or Etsy depending on which direction you choose to go. Right now I use both, so I'm actually going to select both of these because that means that this product will not only be stored in my library for later, but will also push through to my shops. So I'm going to click Apply, and then here is where you get to put in all the descriptions, the product name, so this is what you will search to find it in your own library, but also what will show up for customers. This is what will show up for customers on your website. And you can see down here, Prints Plants, that's my Shopify handle shortcut, and then this one is the Etsy shortcut, the Prints and Plants Press. If I click one, and I scroll down, everything has been populated that was listed in the storage information right here. So you can see here, this is already filled in. You can see you can't change that little X. This is already filled in automatically by Guten. But here, product type, I can put in greeting cards. I can add a collection called greeting cards. And then I can put in tags. Again, all of that with title and description and tags is a whole other lesson, excuse me, on marketing around how to drive traffic to your listings and your site, which we're not going to cover right here, but this would be tags. So I might say greeting card and tomatoes and gardening, and farming and summer food, and you can go on and on. And then right here it shows the price. So this is their price for producing this one card, depending on what you chose. And this is your profit. So you can fill in either your profit or your customer price to determine how much you want to sell for. I usually go for customer price. It helps me think about what they might buy it for. Here I'm going to list this as $3. And so it shows you that your profit's going to be $2.42. Now what's really handy is that I can apply everything I just edited up here to all stores, and so I don't have to enter it in again in the Etsy one down here if you are choosing multiple places to share your work. So I'm going to click that, and then if we click down in Etsy, we can scroll down and see it all got populated, the same tags got populated, the customer price got populated, and it's good to go. So really simple. As soon as I click save, those listings will be pushed through to my Shopify site and my Etsy site. So I will do that right now. Click save, and it'll make sure you want to publish and publish previews. So that means that you're publishing those images. And so I'm going to click OK. One note about this is that the only images you currently have are the ones that are stocked by Guten, so it's really handy to also order samples so that you can create lifestyle photography. You can show it in action, you can show somebody using the product, you can show it in a setting instead of just on the white background. This is really nice for a clear picture of what the image and artwork is going to be for the customer, but it's nice to order the real thing and take those photos and then upload them separately to your Shopify and Etsy sites.